I wanted to make an Adirondack chair that did not require any screws. This is my prototype and version 1. I laid the seat rail down, stuck in the dowels and the seat stays. I used some clamps to get everything snug. Then I slid in the 2x4s with the dovetails to keep things tight. Attach the front leg and armrest supports. Attach the top back support with the dovetails into the back legs. Attach the 2 back legs with the sliding dovetail into the back. Attach the back rests. The armrests are supported with dovetails in the back and dowels in the front. I put them at an angle to help support it if lifted. For additional support, I added a little back brace and attached with some dowels. I used Shaper 3D on the iPad to create the back dimensions for everything and figure out how big everything should be and what the angles are. There's 25-degree angle at the top, 19 degrees at the bottom. I think later on I talk about more specifically what the actual dimensions ended up being, but the nice thing about Shaper 3D is you can just modify the dimensions and then see what those changes would result in. I think that Shaper 3D is a great little program. It really helped a lot. Okay, I'm going to try to talk about the parts, the nomenclature, and the dimensions. This I'm going to call the back leg. This I'm going to call a seat rail. This I'm going to call a front leg. That's an armrest holder. There's 4 seat stays. There's 4 dowels. And then there's 6 back stays. This I'm going to call the top back stay holder. Then the bottom back stay holder. And the front 2x4. The top back stay holder, the bottom back stay holder, and the front 2x4 all start their life exactly the same. They're all the same length. They all have the exact same dovetails on them. They don't change at all until after you start putting the holes or the grooves in them. I did them 20 1/4 inches plus the 3/8 dovetail on each end. Okay, the 4 dowels and the 4 seat stays were also originally cut 21 inches. Then there's 3/8 inch for the tenons on each end, so they're also 20 1/4 inches. And the back stays all have the same 3/4 inch tenons. So when you're doing the back stay and the seat stay tenons, it just do them all at once. And for the back legs and the seat rails, The back legs were 34.5 inches long with a 25-degree angle at the top. The seat rail was 34 inches long with a 19-degree angle at the bottom. And then all of the mortises are the 3/4 inch for the dowels and for the seat stays. The front 2x4 is just whatever the rabbet, as they call it, the rabbet, is perpendicular, and it's about an inch deep. And this one's at a 6-degree angle, which is the difference between 19 and 25. So that's at a 6-degree angle so that the 2x4 is parallel to the top. Hopefully that makes sense. And then these are put in perpendicular to the 25, so it's an easy cut. It's just straight 90 degrees. Although I failed miserably on that a few times. Okay, regarding the what I'm calling the front leg and the armrest holder, the front leg on the long side is 9 inches, and then plus the 3/8 for the tenon, and the armrest holder is like 5 inches on the shallow side, plus the 3/8 for the tenon. Next is how all those pieces were cut. Okay, on the left hand is the back leg, the right hand is the seat rail. It slides in. There's a 19-degree angle at the seat rail. Okay, let's cut the tail on this 2x6. First I'd mark it. I modified the file that came from session 15 of the shaper and made it 10 inches by 3.5 inches, and then moved it -1 and 0.8. Then you take a 1/4 inch bit, run it around it. I did inside 0.11. Then go around again, move it down to 3/8 of an inch with a 1/4 inch bit. Now take your dovetail bit, put it in. Don't forget to do a Z-touch and run it around with these settings. Save your workspace for heel, tail, or whatever you want to call it. Then do a new grid and scan for setting up for the heel rabbet. I modified the Shaper Session 15 rabbet also to make them longer. You could use the original if you wanted, but I thought it would be better longer. These were the settings I used, which made a pretty nice joint. You're left with what I call the heel joint that's just so snug and tight you can't hardly believe it. I'm going to upload all the cut files to the Shaper Origin hub. This one is the seat rails. The back one is at 6 degrees to keep the things parallel. The same cut file can be used for both the left and the right seat rail. However, use the Shaper Origin on tool feature to do a flip and mirror it. This cut file covers both the top and the bottom backstay holders. You can just cut the armrest out twice and flip one over. One will be the left, one will be the right. All done. This one does the front leg and the armrest holder. You can use it for both the mortise and the tenon. Hopefully that's not too verbose. It was my first Shaper Origin project. I think people with more experience can figure all the cut files out themselves. If not, I'll try to post more accurate videos on running the Shaper.